Good morning, everyone. So, before getting into today's discussion, let us quickly recall the topics which are discussed in the last class. In the last class, we were talking about SEM tools and automation process. So, what are the activities involved in software configuration management? How do we can automate the SEM process? So, there we are talking about four things like repository structure, and second, admin operation supported and administrative support and configurable items. So these are the things that we are talking about yesterday class. And moreover, that is the end of module one. Okay. And in today's session, we will be talking about module two. So let us have a quick overview on what are the topics that we will be discussing in module two. So module two talks about the two most important things. One is risk management. In module two, we'll be talking about the most important thing is risk management. And second is about project planning, as you can see here. So one which we will be focusing on risk management, and next we will be focusing on project planning and tracking. And the other part is project closure. Okay. So these are the three main areas which module 2 is completely focused on. Okay. So the first focus is on will be on risk management. So where we will be talking about what is risk management and why it is a risk, and how I can overcome from the risk, how I can manage the risk, and what are the metrics involved in risk management. Okay. And here in project planning and tracking, we will be talking about how to start, how to do a project plan, what are the components that we require for a plan and track. So what is part of a project plan, and what is its cost, and when we are supposed to start do the project plan, and how part of a project planning can be done or assist with existing methodologies. And at the end, project closure. So when project closure happen, and what are the things or measures that we should make on project closure, and what are the metrics for project closure. So these are the topics that which we will be discussing in module 2. As you can see here, like the topics even almost one slide. So in the top, like in the syllabus, it has been given the topic along with all its subtopics, right? So that's why this syllabus looks like very vast for you. But majorly speaking, you're going to talk only on the three topics called risk management, project planning and tracking, project closure. So only these are the three areas that we focus more, and all the others are subtopics of these three topics. Okay. So this syllabus will be little bit easier for you to understand, and also little bit easier for you to uh, re-prepare for exams. Okay. So first, let's start with risk management. So risk management is the first topic in module 2. So what does the term come risk? So when does the term come risk? So risk is something which we have to face, which are not expected. Okay, some kind of problems, some issues which have been emerged without our knowledge, which has been emerged in the project or the technical. It can be of anything. That is called a risk, which we are not planned for. So which we are not planned to occur. And if we get anything get failed at a moment of at any moment in your project, so that we will be calling it as a risk. And how we can manage that particular risk is that risk management. Okay, so risk management is the study which will help you to understand how the risk arises and how I can overcome from those risk. Okay, so it is always said that with no risk no reward. So if we are not ready to take risk, at the end you may not be in a good position to do the things better You should be great enough to hold, you should be great enough to lead your team, and you should be great enough to face the challenges that is our risk. Okay, so risks are events that are usually beyond the planner's control, as I said earlier. So risk are something which we are facing, which we are not at plan. When it goes out of our plan, then almost we are at a risk. Okay, so risk can be categorized, I mean, with the risk can be categorized into risk can be defined in fewer definitions. You can see most of the risk management is defined in more few. The definition of risk management can be given in 3 to 4 manners. So risk management is defined in 3 or 4 ways, and here there are few characteristics which we characterize the risk. So risk characterize the term that we use to define and characterize the risk are, and the first one, risk or events, so which go beyond the planner's control. So it in cases, so we always used to tell that act of God. So if even we are not predicted that COVID pandemic, so this is also one sort of risk which leads the institutions as well as the companies not to be in a position to complete the things on a deadline. So whereby the deadline is increased, and thereby impact on economic is also there, and their burden is like impact on economic, that also they should think, and profit or loss, whatever that they are invested, that also you should need to think. And in case there may be something like a sudden earthquake or a huge rainfall or a cyclone, or it can be of some person like who is being a key role in your the project, and if someone get expired, then how the project is getting into the further stages. So handling this all are risk events. Okay, so which we are not predicted, and some risk can be depends on like a target, like a quality, time, and resource availability. And for all these things, we should have some alternate plan. And let me take like I have some project which have been done by some guy called A, and he is the one who is well expert and well knowledge in the project, and he's being doing in a good manner. And suddenly if he gets expired due to an accident or due to some other heart attack, then will then if there is no alternative plan, or if you don't have an alternative guy who can work on that particular project, or who don't have knowledge who can, if you can't able to find anyone who does not have knowledge on that particular project, then it is completely lost. You are going to lose the complete project. So that should not be get happen. So always it is better to have an alternative plan. Okay, so whatever the thing that we do, if you have an alternate plan, and even if you are getting failed, and if you are leading it to any risk, so if you have an alternate good strategy to come out with your plan, so then that will help you to overcome from the risk. Okay, and second, so risk, if not accounted, if you're not accounted the risk, it may lead to some desired or some unexpected outcome. So there are few things, even we can't guarantee anything, right? So it is always uncertainty. Even if you throw a coin, so there is no guarantee that either you will be getting a head or tail. So you will be knowing that only that it get falls on the ground. So it is also something. All we have to, we should be ready to face the challenges. So whatever the challenges that we may incur, so all the challenges to be get faced, and also we should think that even if it gets failed, we should not set ideal by thinking on how it gets failed. You should think and try to overcome from the problem. Think and try to overcome from the issue which has been occurred, which has been happened. Okay, uh, like if you are failed to complete the project with the deadline, this alternative can be either you can increase the number of working hours in a day, or you can increase the number of people who is being involved in the project team. So that will automatically decrease the deadline timeline to complete the project. Okay, so that where you need not to stick on to the extension of deadline, so you will be able to complete your project in the desired timeline, in the desired time period. And third characteristic is risks or event that are worth anticipating and having alternative plans. So although an infinite number of risks and scenarios may be possible, so it will not be practical to focus on all the risk factors. some factors like earthquake, some factors like earthquake or cyclone, those things should not affect our regular work period or regular work cycle. Earlier, we were talking about one thing, right? We are talking about this globally distributed project management. So San Francisco is renowned for its is well known for it. It is a place where earthquakes will be happening more. So we can't rely on that particular area to invest or to develop our company or where you want to work remotely. So even by working in the Bangalore, if you're getting working done with the San Francisco, so the chances of risk are getting more in this case. Okay, so okay, fine. So these are the points that we would like to discuss on the risk management. And whenever it comes under like risk management, we also should think on the impact of the risk. And if it is not solved, if it leads to a greater impact or a greater risk, then it is better to avoid. There can be few cases, like a few scenarios where you may encounter a risk, but that may not be having a greater impact on the project that you do. So in those cases, it is better to avoid the risk. So wherever if you are getting some risk which is having a high major impact on the project or work that you do, in some cases it may lead to the complete failure of the project. In those cases, it is better to restart the project again, and it is better to restart the work in a planned manner. So that will help you in making your project to be successful. So where you can get your project to be a better outcome. So that will be resulting in a better outcome. And here one example is, see, there are some cases like a negative risk and positive risk. So positive risk is something thing that you have been invested on some sort of work, some sort of project, and where you are working for the same. So you have, as per the budget, you have planned to complete the work in a month or in a period of 6 months. Okay, as per your budget plan. And suddenly, if you get a lottery of like 1 crore or 10 lakhs, so where you can complete the same work in 1 month or in lesser than that also. So that is positive, right? That is positive kind of risk. So if you're getting some kind of relief from it, like if you're getting some kind of work, either it can be money or it can be a other resource, it can be of any form. So if it helps you to complete your project before the deadline, that whatever that you have fixed, or which helps you to do project in a smoother manner. So all those things will be resulting in a positive sort of risk. Okay, so these sort of risk will make your project to go further in a smoother manner. So this also happens out of your plan, but it depends on the way that you react on the risk. So whatever that you encounter as a risk, so what way that you react and think to overcome from it, that is most important. So being facing the issue and then thinking how to come back or how to overcome from that issue is more important than being anticipating a risk. Okay, so these are the three characteristics under which you can define risk management. And next, we will be talking about what is risk management and why it is important. Okay. So, what is the important reason to consider risk management? So, risk management is the process of anticipating hurdles in carrying out the original plan. When your original plan gets, I mean, which is not matching with your project work, or which does not fits to the project life line, then almost you are anticipated to get into risk. Almost you are on the path of risk. Okay. So it is an uncertainty. You can't prefix, you can't pre-decide, you can't pre-plan it what's going to happen. Unless if you have a proper plan, the chances of getting risk is little bit less. Okay. And in case if you're facing some risk, then you should have an alternate plan. So while designing, if you have a clear project plan, so mostly you are free from a risk. If you have a clear project plan and what kind of activity that you are going to do, mostly you are free from risk. And second thing is, once even though after getting like in a plan, if you have an alternative plan, like in some strategies in some place, if you are being get locked, I mean if you're being get locked, if you're unable to move for the next stage, or if you're being get failed, if you're encountering any issues, and if you have an alternative plan to overcome from it, or if an alternative plan to start again to overcome from that issue, then almost you are being safe. So this is one sort of one guideline to manage the risk. You should have an alternative plans. Should have an alternative plans for execution. Should not make you to struck and stop there itself. Okay, and almost if you have completed 70% of the project, and if you have, I mean, if there is a risk, and risk is something like you're not met the customer requirements, or if you don't have any sufficient resources. Maybe some people have left, or maybe a problem with the missions. So then in that case, it should not be like again starting the project from the beginning. You should try to manage. You should try to manage with some alternative plan. We should try to manage with some alternatives and make your project to get proceed in a smoother manner. So that is how you need to manage a risk. Okay. So providing alternate plans so that the impact on the originally anticipated final outcome is minimal. So if there is no alternate plan, and your final outcome impact will be the maximum at the peak, it should be at the highest level. So that shall be reduced with these kind of risk management strategies. Okay. So we are not talking about the risk management strategies as of now. Just we are talking about what is risk management and why it is important, and how I can manage with the risk. So later on, we'll be talking about the risk management strategies and how to reduce the level of risk on a project. Okay, and the two most important characteristics of risk management are: one is it is proactive. Proactive in the sense like if you anticipate something which could go wrong, then you should plan accordingly. And if you're being better prepared, always have an alternate strategy to be ready for your goals. So even with that alternate strategy, you should be ready to satisfy the goals. That is, it should be proactive. And second, it tries to reduce the impact of uncertainty. So like as I said, you have an alternate plan, your plan B or alternate strategy, if it is designed to minimize the deviation from the expected or designed outcome, so then almost whatever that you have predicted, and whatever that you have predicted, almost you will be consistent with the final outcome. It may not be the promised one that which you are supposed to get succeed without a risk. Okay, so these are the two most important characteristic of risk management. And next we talk about risk management cycle. So, as earlier we had discussed an umbrella activity, and risk management is an umbrella activity that takes place throughout a project life cycle. Risk may happen at any time. So, even if you take a project life cycle, so we talk about plan, analyze, design, implement, test, and maintenance. So, risk may happen at any stage. It risk may happen at planning stage, risk may happen at analysis stage, risk may happen at design stage. It can be of any stage. Okay. So it does not ensure that risk will be happening at on this particular stage or in this particular scenario. So risk is something which happens unexpectedly at unexpected time. Some cases when you come out with a project or when you come out with a product which is totally prone to errors, then that is also in manage, that is also a part of risk, that is also you need to manage. Okay, so we can't summarize it, right? We can't predict it. Risk is something which is unpredictable in nature. So even you should have an alternate plans to handle those unpredictable items, those unpredictable tasks. So only that makes your project to be successful. Else, you may not be resulting in a successful project. So to be a success, to get a successful outcome, you should have some successful scenarios, right? So in managing these sort of risk, you should have an risk management plan. Okay. So including in your plan, for an example, and as per your plan states that you should complete the planning phase, or you should complete the requirements collection in 1 week period of time. And if you are even working on the same activity, same phase, still after completing 2 to 3 weeks, and it is almost up to the risk. Okay, so where you will not be able to fulfill or complete the requirements in the given deadline, where you will not be able to deliver the project in the given time period. So that is also one sort of risk that has to be addressed. Okay, so that is also with risk management. So, as we talk about risk management, it consists of three phases. One is risk identification, and second, risk quantification, and third, risk mitigation. Okay, so let us talk about the difference between risk identification, risk quantification, and risk mitigation, and let us see how these things support or help in doing things get done, like risk management and risk quantification and risk mitigation. Okay, so let me take this. So first one will be risk identification, and second is going to be risk quantification, and the third one will be risk mitigation. So these are the three phases. I can call this as like a cycle. Okay, I can call this as like a cycle. Let me connect it. So risk identification, risk quantification, and from here it is connected to here, and from here to here. Okay, so first we should start with risk identification. So risk identification, you know the meaning of risk identification, right? You will be identifying a set of risk. So you need to identify what are the risk, what are the chances are there for a risk to occur. So it is monitoring the risk. So it is called risk monitoring. Okay. And similarly, this is also going to do the same thing, risk monitoring. And this is also going to do the same thing, and risk monitoring. Okay. So now let us see what are the activities that we will be doing in risk identification. So risk identification is the process of identifying those risks that a project manager needs to guard against. So we will be discussing in detail about risk management, risk quantification, risk mitigation in detail in the next upcoming classes. But let's have an overview on all these things. Okay. So risk identification is something. It is a process of identifying the risk, that is called risk identification. And then what about risk quantification? So risk quantification is, for example, let me take how for you, how will you categorize or how will you prioritize the risk? That is risk quantification. So whatever the risk that we get, all the risk all will not be at the same level, right? So risk will be or always at not, some risk will not be equally important, and some risk will be important. So how do we characterize, quantify, how will you, how do we characterize, quantify, and prioritize risks? Okay, that is risk quantification. How are we prioritize prioritizing it? How are we quantifying it? So once if you encounter a risk, on what basis or on what category you able to characterize the risk? Okay, how you are making to be at high level risk, low level risk. So risk is again an high level risk or low level risk or medium level risk. So high level risk has to be addressed mandatorily, and low level risk, medium level risk, based on the probability of its occurrence and based on its probability and impact of the risk, it may be handled. Okay, so it need not to be like all the risk has to be get handled when it gets into a risk management. So based on once you need to assess the level of risk management. So based on that assessment, a few risk can be managed and few risk need not to be managed. Okay, if it is not having a high impact on the project, or if it is not having a high impact or high impact on the work that you are doing, so that need not to be considered in getting the things done. Okay, so that is also one sort of risk quantification. And next I talk about risk mitigation. So the meaning of mitigation or mitigating is it is minimizing. Okay, so mitigation is risk mitigation means it means of minimizing or even avoiding the impact of a risk. Okay, so that is called risk mitigation. So whatever that is possible to avoid the impact of a risk, how far we are reducing it, that is called impact of a risk or risk mitigation. So this usually comprises of identifying alternative strategies to overcome from the problem or to overcome from the issue. That is called risk mitigation. Okay. So risk monitoring is something like how does we fault at the risk and how we are able to overcome from that particular risk and how far we are moving it to the next stage. That is risk monitoring. Okay. So risk management cycle. So this cycle helps us to manage the risk activities, and risk management is not meant for only during at any particular stage in a project life cycle. So risk management it applies throughout the complete set of activities that you evolve that you do throughout your software engineering life cycle phases. So this may happen at any stage of your project during in the initial stage like plan or other activities like analyze, design, implement, test. So we have talked about one activity, one kind of cycle in module one, like a plan, do, check, act. So that is also again the most important. So risk management is an umbrella activity that takes place throughout a project life cycle, and here it talks about three phases. So first phase is risk identification, which helps you to identify a set of risk or which helps to safeguard yourself against the risk. That is risk identification. So once if you are identified with any sort of risk, you should safeguard yourself to be free from that risk. So to be get not to be get failed with the risk. That is called risk identification. Okay, so that is what we will be doing with risk identification. Like, and each and every cycle you need to monitor a risk. So whatever that we do, it has to be get keep on monitoring. That is called risk monitoring. And second, we talk about risk quantification. So where how we characterize the risk and how do we prioritize the risk. The risk which has to be get solved initially, the risk which can be get solved later on, and the risk which can be get solved at a later period of time, or a risk which is avoidable, a risk which is unavoidable, a risk which has to be given high priority, the risk which can be given low priority. And one in doing this, we also will get into risk mitigation. So risk mitigation, which means like avoiding or minimizing the probability or chances of offending risk or completely avoiding a risk. So this is about a risk management cycle. So now we are as of now we are talked about what is risk management, why risk management, and what we do with risk management cycle. Okay. So um, now let us quickly let us recall. Let us have a glance on those topics which are talked earlier. So first we started with module 2. We have talked about what is called risk management, and it is always better to have an alternate execution plan for any sort of issue. Only that will help you to overcome from the issue. And whatever that the plan that you set to design or to develop or to do your project, it is always better to have an alternative plan which will help you to overcome from the risk. So you need not to get stuck into the risk. Okay. So by that time you can be aware of what can be done the next stage, that is risk management. And next we have talked about on what characteristics this risk management shall be defined. On what characteristics risk management shall be defined. So there we have talked about three things. And next, the two most important characteristics of risk management. One is it is proactive, and second, how we are going to survive with the risk. So those are the two most important characteristics of risk management. And next to that, we are talking about risk management cycle. And risk management cycle, we were talking about risk monitoring. I mean, the first level will be risk identification, and second will be risk. Sorry, you need to prioritize the risk, right? So you need to prioritize the risk, and you need to know which is having the good impact, is having a less impact, and how you are going to overcome those issues. And that is called risk quantification. Risk quantification, and at last we have done concluded with risk mitigation. Okay, so risk mitigation, which will help you to avoid or overcome from the risk that is being happened, or which means completely avoiding the risk or overcoming from the risk. And overall of this is risk monitoring. How are we monitoring the risk that we face in our work? Okay, so these are the topics that which we have discussed in today's session. And in the next session, we will be talking in depth about this three risk management cycles. So one is the risk identification, risk quantification, risk mitigation. So next topic we'll be discussing in depth about all these three things. Okay, thank you.